census.gov, since the 1980-1981 school year, all 50 states have had mandatory laws for students to get vaccinations before entering their school. Vaccinations are used to prevent the spread of highly contagious, deadly diseases. And the widespread use of vaccinations in children has decreased fatal diseases and saved millions of lives, possibly even yours and mine. In recent years, however, the conversation to not vaccinate your children has become more popular among parents. In my opinion, this is one of the most detrimental and dangerous decisions a parent can make. And yet, even more parents are choosing to not vaccinate their children. So let's just go through the history of vaccinations. According to immune.org.nz, vaccination began with Edward Jenner in 1796. Jenner treated a young boy with cowpox, which demonstrated immunity to smallpox, and then that later led the way for the smallpox vaccination being made in 1798. Then let's fast forward to the middle of the 20th century, where vaccine research and development was at its peak. Vaccinations for polio, the measles, mumps, and rubella were being developed. These vaccinations saved millions of lives. That's according to the history of vaccines.org. And by 1922, many U.S. schools required proof of a smallpox vaccination before children could be admitted to enter schools. And then later following that, by 1980, smallpox was declared eradicated. Children were no longer even vaccinated for smallpox because the disease didn't exist thanks to the vaccine. In the 1980-1981 school year, the laws for mandatory vaccinations of students first entering schools was made. So, are vaccinations even useful? Are they helpful? Of course. The American Academy of Pediatrics states that most childhood vaccines are 90 to 99% effective in preventing disease. And the Centers for Disease Control, also known as the CDC, estimated that 732,000 American children were saved from death, not to mention the 322 million childhood illnesses that were prevented between 1994 and 2014 due to vaccination. 322 million cases prevented. You and I may very well be 6 of those people saved from death in that short span of 20 years, thanks to our vaccinations. Vaccinations also help future generations prevent these deadly diseases. Vaccinated mothers protect their unborn children from diseases with the potential to create birth defects, and vaccinated communities help get rid of diseases completely for future generations. Let's take the rubella virus, for example. There was a global rubella outbreak in 1969. There was a global outbreak before the rubella vaccination was licensed in 1969. Excuse me. This outbreak caused the death of 11,000 babies and birth defects in 20,000 babies just between 1963 and 1965, 2 years in the U.S. alone. Now, however, mothers who have been vaccinated against the rubella virus have greatly decreased the risk of birth defects in their newborn children, eliminating birth defects like heart disease, hearing and vision loss, and mental disabilities associated with the rubella virus. So, what is the disease? What is the argument between people who say, yes, we should vaccinate, and no, why would we vaccinate our children? People have tended to believe that vaccinations are dangerous due to certain ingredients in vaccines. Some of these ingredients are formaldehyde and aluminum. But yes, formaldehyde and aluminum can be dangerous in large doses, but they're certainly not used in harmful quantities in vaccines. The FDA requires up to 10 years of testing for all vaccines before they're licensed. And then even after that, the FDA and the CDC monitors them very closely to make sure that all ingredients are safe for the use of children. According to vaccines.procon.org, children are exposed to more aluminum in breast milk and infant formula than they are exposed to in vaccines. And last time I checked, mothers so concerned about giving their children vaccines were not concerned about giving them breast milk. We are letting our children live on this food for the first several months of their lives, and yet we're not vaccinating them with vaccines that will definitely save them from these deadly diseases. The conversation of vaccinating children will continue to go on, but let me ask you this. When the CDC says to refrain from eating romaine lettuce due to an E. coli outbreak, did you snub your nose and say that those doctors certainly don't have enough information to protect us from E. coli? I'm gonna guess not. You probably didn't eat any lettuce this week. So why do you not trust the CDC when they say that these ingredients in vaccines are safe for your children? Are you really going to risk your child's life and the millions of children around them because you think your internet research is more important than the CDC's medical research?